there, YouTubers! Ashley Winsong here, always searching for new stories and dreaming of dreams. Though, obviously by the title alone, this isn't like my usual videos. Uh, God, I don't even know how to say this. And to at least warn you guys, this isn't script. God knows, I've even tried, well, to put it short, penning it down before starting recording, and can't even say how many times I've done this already. Twice ended up bursting into tears, as silly as it is. And, well, might as well just rip the band-aid, so to speak. For those who recognize at least the name and part of the title, yes, I am in fact a pretty big fan of theirs, though even if I've never bought their merchandise or I've only just recently been doing fan art of some of the characters, I've actually been a pretty big fan of theirs for several years. Actually, while I have seen several of their videos beforehand, it actually wouldn't have been until around the lawsuit arc that I would actually be a pretty big fan of theirs. Oh, and for those who don't know what the heck I'm talking about, there's a YouTube series by the name of the SMG4 series. And trust me, they've actually have gone through several titles, but simply being called the SMG4 series is what they're mostly known as. Though, funny enough, originally, before there were so many people working on it, only one person was working on it, and they were only doing it for the fun of it. And over time, it just suddenly got bigger, so to speak. And I will also admit this one, at the time of the recording, I am also in the process of writing the script for a special reviewing the web video actually regarding this series. Though concerning the timing for certain things, I figured probably best to at least do something of a thank you letter in the form of a video before, well, like I said, best to rip off the band-aid, so to speak, especially for those who are also a fan of the series but probably don't know. In short, after their last video or movie special on December 27th, 2025, the series is essentially going to be retiring. Though the channel itself and the episodes in it will remain up as sort of an archives thing, it's sadly not going to be continuing anymore. Though, I will say, considering that this series has actually lasted for nearly 15 years, that in itself is incredible. And considering that over time, the series actually evolved from using a Nintendo 64 game and a simple movie editor to actually growing into something similar to Gmod and Source Filmmaker, and even adding voice actors and actresses. It really shows that even if a lot of people don't go for humors like this sometimes, or at least in the beginning of the series, it really did touch a lot of people, and still does. So unfortunately, as I said before, if at least about a month or so ago, the original creator of the series, Luke Lurchwichel, and I apologize for butchering the last name, made the announcements that he's going to be retiring the series. And while he didn't really give a reason for it, other than it was one of the hardest decisions he had to make, while like many others, I'm heartbroken by this, I also can't help but think that I can at least somewhat understand why he might be doing this. The thing is, he and his brother Kevin also run another YouTube, well, company or franchise known as Glitch Productions, and I'm sure you guys at least know who they are, since they're the reasons why the Amazing Digital Circus is even around. And given how big the productions has gotten to where we're going to be soon expecting new episodes for other series that they've uploaded, and they're even helping another content creator bring one of their works to life, it's probably no wonder why the one thing that actually gave Luke his big chance is finally retiring after nearly 15 years of humor, laughs, adventures, and amazing storytelling. And like I said, while I did see maybe one or two of the episodes in the beginning, I wouldn't have become a fan of the series until maybe around the lawsuit arc. And you guys know me, I do happen to love a good story. Now, funny enough, while I did become a fan, my respect for Luke and his friends in their talents of storytelling, to put it short at least, it actually wouldn't have grown until their one movie, so to speak. It's gotta be perfect. And I gotta admit, to this day, that video still, well, resonates with me. Because while there's still humor in it, don't get me wrong, but the concept of what was going on in that special, it, well, resonates with me. And not just because of trying to create something perfect that nobody would complain about. I mean, we all tend to struggle with something like that, but also because, well, just the overall fear of not getting it right, of not having the confidence that even if it doesn't come out perfect, that you still leave yourself doubting that you even did it right or did your best. But but even despite all that, even if things seem like they're at their worst, you'll always have your friends and family right beside you to always lift you back up and drag you out of that dark room to remember that everything's okay and nothing has to be perfect. And touch grass, because let's face it, I'm sure a lot of us have gotten so into a project we forget to actually get up and actually take care of ourselves. And, well, long story short, the series didn't just become something to get a good laugh at for me. And it did and still does have a lot of compelling stories to them, even the everyday, the slice of life moments. But I guess to put it short, it's kind of like a comfort series to me. Like, you know that the characters aren't real and the stories are just made up, but you can tell that the creators put their hearts and soul into their work, and whether or not they realize it, especially in the It's Gotta Be Perfect movie, a part of their own fears and worries. And, well, that's basically what our artwork, no matter what the form it is, truly is. An extension of what we feel. Which, honestly, like I said, even if it was subconscious on their part, that's what actually made me truly respect Luke and his friends with how they create the series. And even if a lot of people would rather prefer the old humor, I gotta admit, I'm also glad that instead of just staying to one trope, so to speak, they actually grew. Not just the world in general, but in forms of storytelling, the characters, even the unintentional lessons that they added into certain moments of the story. And because of this, I'm sure that, well, unlike myself with my own confidence problems, a lot of people were actually inspired by these guys in more ways than one. And honestly, lately these guys been basically doing one last adventures with certain characters for the past few episodes lately. Heck, by the time of this recording, the last one was actually of Luigi finally achieving his dream of becoming a great chef and owning a restaurant. If that doesn't show how much they love their fans and their characters, I don't know what will. And honestly, this too has only raised my respect for them because unlike a lot of YouTube creators, storytellers, and things like that who just give up and leave the story unfinished or give the characters a mediocre ending, Luke and his friends, they're giving the stories the ending that they truly deserve. And, at least to me, also leaving a feeling that while it's sad that there's going to be no more SMG4 episodes or specials, that it's okay. That it just means that even if the series is no longer continuing, that doesn't mean that it's completely gone. that the series itself is actually at least going to remain for not just the current fans, but for future fans as well. Whether to inspire them to create their own SMG4 based series, to create incredible fan arts on DeviantArt, or heck, even writing incredible stories on certain fanfic sites. And trust me, that last one doesn't normally happen for series like the SMG4 series. That alone actually really shows how much people really love and respect the series, even if they got their own interpretations for certain characters. But in the end, what it comes down to, at least to me, this series hasn't just brought laughter and joy and humor to its viewers, but it brought inspiration to so many others. And not just slapping together a YouTube video or something, but to grow in their own talents as content creators and storytellers and artists, and, well, to be the best that they could be. And in the end, just have fun with it. And Luke, if by chance you and your friends are watching or hearing this, I hope you guys realize how much we truly appreciate all that you've done. And no doubt will do as you continue your journey in Glitch Productions. And like I said, I've never bought the merchandise, or at least until recently, done any sort of fan works over your characters, but you guys, other than giving me a good laugh, you also lifted my spirits. Sometimes at moments where I really needed it most. And I'm sure that even after the series end, you'll still continue being an inspiration to so many others. Honestly, if there's at least a simpler way to try to explain my thought process about all this, or at least of how you've grown over the years in your talents, I guess the best way would to at least go by a brony's perspective, or at least in my case, a Pika sister, because in the beginning, Luke, you started off as an earth pony, just looking to have some fun and at least try your hands at something different. But over time, especially with your friends helping you out, you grew and evolved into an incredible alicorn of creativity, inspiration, and storytelling. And trust me, for anybody who actually pays attention to certain aspect of the MLP show, becoming an alicorn isn't necessarily a becoming royalty. It's a symbol of true growth, not just in your talents, but in who you are, of how you also touch every person who were inspired by your own works. And no doubt, they're still going to inspire so many others. Heck, even right now, there are actually several YouTubers who have actually been doing their own little spin-offs of the SMG4 series. Fan works, of course, but at the same time, at least to me, is a show of respect for not only all the stories you've told, but for all the things you've done too. And like I said, we're no doubt gonna continue to at least be a fan of yours as you continue your journey with your brother and in Glitch Productions, but I hope you know that even with your first original series ending, we're all still grateful for you. And while we will miss it, we get it. And we hope that wherever the journey may move onwards, you'll continue to show the same spirit in your future endeavors as you have shown in the SMG4 series. Dang it! See what I made? Can't even stop crying or... Dang it! Sorry. Fingers to even towards the end of this one, I can't stop crying. But hey, at least it shows that how much this show really means to me. Because, like I said, over the years it has become something of a comfort series for me. And while I'll miss seeing a new SMG4 adventure, I get it. And for what it's worth, I hope you and your friends continue to enjoy the laughs and the fun and continuing to inspire so many others as you journey forth, even long after the SMG4 series has ended. And I also hope that, at least when it comes to your fans and the works they do that are inspired by your series, no matter what they are, and at least when my own special review of your series come out, that we all do you proud. Dang it! I better stop now before I start bursting into tears again, and I can already feel it coming. So, uh, anyway, uh, like I said before, I hope you and your friends, even after the series finally ends, still continue to grow and create incredible stories for everybody to enjoy. And corny as it may sound, may God bless you in all your endeavors. With that being said, this is Ashley Winsong, signing off.